Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald, bringing you a reading for Monday, December 29th, 2025 through Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. And out of the traditional Rider-Waite deck today, we have the Six of Swords coming up for us. So I just want you to take a peek at that, kind of gauge it, see how you're feeling intuitively, what you're drawn to in the card. For me, I am very drawn to this child in the card, and what I'm feeling with this is there's just this overwhelming feeling of innocence coming in and kind of accompanying this read. And I think that this is ultimately a result of inexperience, right? And you could be navigating waters that you've never navigated before. And so this is a very strange and foreign feeling for you. You have to leave a situation. You aren't necessarily sure where you're going to be going, but it's really not about where you're going. It's more about how you're going to get there. This is ultimately about you learning what you need to learn from this situation. I think that ultimately this comes in with this situation kind of being overshadowed by these doubts that you're having. I think that that's the core of the wound, right? And I think that as that happens, it can tend to leave us in a state of fear. And so I think what happens with that is sometimes that fear can keep us from really moving forward, right? Like we can be stuck in fear, right? And so understanding that that's the root of all of this is going to be able to help you in moving forward and creating that progress. And it will be slow progress that comes in with this as well, with the Six of Swords. I do think that this is a very strange feeling for you. I think that ultimately you're like always on your A game. You always feel like you're on top of the world. You're very confident. You feel like you put yourself in situations that are safe. And this is not necessarily the best feeling. You don't necessarily, you're not jiving with it. But ultimately, this is about learning. This is going to be very much a learning experience for you. I think you're very strong. And I think that this is really going to shake up that status quo in order to really break you wide open, allow yourself to be a little bit more vulnerable. Because I think that you're not necessarily the person that takes those risks. You kind of play things safe. And I think that with that, you kind of guide others, give others some direction and guidance. And I think that with this shaking up that status quo, there's a potential here for you to, like I said, just kind of like build in your empathy through learning what others are experiencing. And so this is a lot of drama that kind of comes in with this. And I think that you just don't want the headache of it. And I understand that. But ultimately, this is you overestimating your abilities. I think that when you went in confident, you thought that you could handle this situation, and you're really finding out that you can't. And so it's breaking you wide open, and you're learning from this. But this will be a time of healing. It will be slow, steady healing. And I think that this child on the card is really allowing us to navigate this situation and know that we cannot just simply be a victim of circumstance. We have to actually be an active participant in our life. And so you're going to have to make difficult choices sometimes. And sometimes you're going to have to take that path that you don't necessarily want to take because it may be your only option. But I think that ultimately this is about surrendering to spirit. And I think as you surrender, right, as you give in and you start to go with the flow of this situation and just kind of roll with the punches and allow yourself to surrender, it's a test of faith for you in some way or another, right? In terms of you being able to bear witness to the miracles that can happen, this divine support that comes in for you, and it will grow. Your faith will grow as you experience that, right? I think that this is a catalyst for change for you. And I think building that empathy to allow you to understand others to a greater depth will help you with your gifts and being able to help others in the way that you are meant to as a result of experiencing this. So beautiful read here for us. I do so hope that this resonates for you. As always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.